Now through October 31st, 2020, get the chart free by subscribing to my YouTube channel and sending me an email that says I subscribed to crochetbynight@gmail.com. Please allow 48 hours for a response. Now let's learn how to make a Franken-Skull.
Welcome back to Crochet by Night. Tonight we're going to learn how to do the mosaic Franken-Skull pattern. This Franken-Skull pattern is something that I created for a friend of mine. She loves skulls and she loves Halloween, so I kind of made him a Franken-Skull. I used a 6mm hook and some scrap yarn for this one. I just used some black that I had and some white with a little bit of, it has a little bit of shiny in it, and created this scarf. I'm going to show you how to do one section, the Franken-Skull, and then you can take that and complete an entire scarf. I want to show you the chart that I created. It is very easy to read. Basically, when you're reading a mosaic chart, this is an alternative mosaic chart, you start and you work from the bottom corner, kind of like you would from corner to corner, but you would just go all the way down a row, starting here with number 1. If the space is blank, that means you do a back loop single crochet. If there's an X, that means you do a drop down double. And I'm going to show you how to do both of those here in just a moment. The very beginning stitch and the very ending stitch, regardless of how many times you repeat this pattern, always the very beginning stitch and the very ending stitch is a regular single crochet, which is why you have this SC in here. It's a repeat of 14 stitches, and then at the end you have a stitch and at the beginning you have a stitch. So what I want you to do is I want you to decide how many different stitches you need. So for mine, the same pattern 13 times. Let's say you wanted to do it 10 times, you would take 14 times 10, it would be 140, and then you would add the beginning stitch and the ending stitch, so that'd be 142, and 1 stitch for the turning chain, so that's 143. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to use purple as my color A. And you can see here on the outside it's got an A and B. A and B. It tells you which color to do. I'm designating my purple as A and my orange as B. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to chain 14 with my purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then I'm going to add my beginning and ending stitch, so 2 more, and my turning chain, so 3. So that gives me a total of 17 chains to begin with. Then I'm going to, that's my foundation chain. Sorry, I'm going to turn my chain over. I'm going to skip this first one, and I'm going to single crochet in the back bump of all the stitches all the way to the end. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I have 16 single crochets to begin. You're going to have, let's say you're doing 10 of the FrankenSkulls to make a scarf. you're going to have 142 stitches. And that's just an example. You may want to do more, you may want to do less. But you're going to tie off, and you're going to grab color B and meet me back here for row 2. Okay, on row 2, you always start from the right side. If you're right-handed, you always start from the right side of your work, and you work to the left. If you're left-handed, you may be doing just the opposite, but you always go the same direction. So I'm going to start here in this right-hand corner. You can see this is the front side of my work. You can see that that's the back side. Now I'm going to insert my hook under both loops of the very first stitch. I've got my color B, which is my orange, and I am going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and then I'm going to single crochet in the very first stitch. So you can see on my chart, we're on row 2, and I just single crocheted. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, well, you can see the whole row, there's no X's, so I'm going to do a back loop single crochet all the way down until I get to my very last stitch, and then I'm going to put a full single crochet. So a back loop only. You can see the V of your stitch in the previous row. You're going to go under just the back loop only. So under one loop, yarn over, pull up the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to do that all the way down until you get to the very last stitch, and then you're going to do a full single crochet under both loops in the very last stitch. Go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here for row 3. Okay, I'm at the end of my row 2, and I have 1 stitch left, and I'm going to single crochet under both. Now I like to, little trick that I like to do is I like to go ahead and chain 1 at the end. It gives you a little tail there, but it always helps me to hold and to make sure I'm not dropping a stitch. You don't have to do that, but it's just something I like to do. So fasten off, grab your color A, and let's get started with row number 3. You're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch. I always chain 1 and then do a single crochet. The chain 1 doesn't count. It just helps you to fasten on. So chain 1, single crochet. Okay, we're going to do 4 back loop onlys. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to do 6 drop down double crochets. Okay, so I'm going to try to put this where you can see it before I do it. You see the front loop is left, drop down. If you see 2 rows below where your color A is, you see that front loop that's left. It's left for you to be able to work into. So you're going to do 6 drop downs, so double crochets. You're going to yarn over, you're going to drop down, and you're going to find the loop below that stitch, and you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you've skipped the row, orange row, or the row below, and you've worked into the same color into that front loop 2 rows below. Now I found that, move to the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to want to be careful and spread your stitches out and look behind. And you may even want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because sometimes your double crochets will be tighter than your back loop singles, and you'll be accidentally crocheting behind the double, and you don't want to do that because that creates an increase. So stretch that out, and you can see that you have your end. You should have 4 single crochet back loops left to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that leaves you 1 stitch for your single crochet ending stitch. So it was your regular single crochet, then 4 back loops, and then 6 drop down doubles, then 4 back loops, and then your ending single crochet. Remember, you will not do that ending single crochet if you're doing more than one pattern. If you're doing more than one Franken-Skull in a row, you'll do those before you do that last stitch. Okay, so finish up what you're doing, and I will meet you back here for row 4. Okay, so on row 4 I've fastened off, and I'm going to grab my color B, which is my orange, and I'm going to do a regular single crochet in the first stitch, and then I'm going to do 4 drop down double crochets, and you can start seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 where you do those. Once you start getting into it, you can start seeing where those go. The pattern kind of becomes known. So you're going to yarn over, drop down underneath that front loop, 2 rows below, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to do that 4 times. So here's 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to do 6 back loop onlys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 4 drop down doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You go ahead and do that as many times as you need for your pattern repeat, and then when you get to the end of the row, you do your single crochet. Oops, you do your single crochet under both loops, I chain 1, and then fasten off. Finish up, and I'll meet you for the next row. Okay. For row 5, going to do a single crochet using color A. Attach your yarn with a chain, do your single crochet, and then you're going to do 4, 1, 2, 3 back loop onlys. So 1, 2, 3, oops, 3 and 4, and then you're going to do 1 drop down double, then you're going to do 1 back loop only, single, and then 2 drop down doubles. So there's 1 and 2, 1 single back loop only, and then 1 drop down double. So Should look like that so far. And then you're going to do 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 back loop onlys, and your last stitch. So this is what it should look like. At the end of row 5. Finish yours, and I will meet you back here for row 6. On row 6, we're going to start out with our chain 1, which doesn't count, and then a regular single crochet. And then we're going to do 3 drop down doubles. 1, 2, and 3. And then single crochet in your last stitch. I'm going to fasten off. You guys go ahead and finish up your row. You should have more than I do, especially if you're doing a scarf. If you're just doing a sample piece like this, that's okay. Then you're right with me. Otherwise, just continue on. We're going to be coming up on row 7. And I'm switching colors again. Chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, just the very first stitch. And then you're going to do 3 back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. 8 drop down double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that takes up all your purple exposed front loop stitches 2 rows down. So then you're going to do 3 back loop onlys. 1, whoops, I kind of caught the front loop in that one. Let's try this again. Back loop only. 1, 2. It was much easier to do this with acrylic, I will say that. I don't normally like to work with cotton because it splits on me. Okay, so I finished that, my 3 back loop onlys, and then I did my regular single crochet under both loops, and that finished up row 7. Okay, row 8, changing colors again. We are going to do your single crochet under both loops. And then 2 drop down double crochets. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 back loop only single crochets. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then 2 drop down double crochets. 1 and 2. Single crochet in the last stitch. And you continue down your row, and then we'll fasten off. Keeping in mind, I'm just doing a sample one pattern repeat. You may be doing 13 or 10. So you don't do your regular single crochet, you do it at the very first stitch, and then you do it all the way at the end in your last stitch. So if you're doing more than one, if you're putting together a scarf or a blanket and you're doing this repeat over and over and over, you will need to probably stop the video and continue each row and then before moving on to the next row. Coming up on row 8, and I'm changing colors again. Okay, we're on row 8, changing colors again, and I'm going to single crochet in the first stitch, and then I'm going to do 2 double crochet. We're on row 9. Coming up on row 9, do 2 back loop only. Coming up on row 9, you do your first single crochet, your beginning stitch, and then you're going to do 2 back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 drop down double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do 2 back loop onlys. 1, 2, and then we're going to do 4 drop downs. 1 drop down double, 2 drop down doubles, 3 drop down doubles, and 4 drop down doubles. That should leave us with 2 back loop only single crochets and a single crochet in the last stitch. See how the pattern's starting to come together? Okay, row 10. On row 10, we're going to do our single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to do 2 drop down doubles. So there's 1, and 2. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 back loop onlys. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops, 9, and 10. And then we should have 2 drop down doubles. Go ahead and do your pattern repeats if you need to. And then your last stitch is a single crochet. And I'll meet you back here for row 11. Row 11, you switch colors. Start out with your first beginning single crochet, and then you're going to do 2 back loop onlys, and then 2 drop down doubles, then 2 back loop onlys, making sure that you're not getting one of those from behind, you're not doing an increase. So, whoops. So you do your 2 back loop onlys, and then 2 drop down doubles, two back loop onlys, two drop down doubles, and 2 back loop onlys. And your ending stitch is a regular single crochet. And you can see now, I love doing these eyes because it starts really giving him a face. So you see the nose, kind of spread that out there a little bit so you can see the mouth and the teeth, and you see the eyes. Alright, I am going to fasten off while you're finishing up this row, and I'll meet you back for row 12. We're starting row 12 the same we do all rows, with 1 chain, and then, which doesn't count, to connect us, and then we're going to do a single crochet, and we start row 12. Row 12 is 2 drop down doubles, so you do 1, 2, for this cotton, there we go, and then we're going to do 2 back loop onlys, 2 drop down doubles. Oops. Now see, I went in too far. I went into a stitch that I shouldn't have. So now I just gotta readjust that. Okay, 2 drop down doubles, 2 back loop only single crochets, 2 drop down doubles, 2 back loop onlys, and 2 drop down doubles. You go ahead and finish your row, end with a single crochet and a chain, and I will see you back for row 13. Okay, for row 13, we are going to, we've switched colors again, so we're going to do our single crochet in the first stitch, just a regular single crochet, and then we're going to do 3 back loop onlys, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet, drop down double, 2 back loop onlys, 2 drop down doubles, 2 back loop singles, 1 drop down double, and 3 back loop onlys. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now you'll repeat that pattern all the way down your row, and at the very last stitch you're going to do a single crochet. Finish up and I'll see you for row 14. Alright, on row 14 we are inserting our hook under the first stitch and doing a single crochet. I do a chain and then a single crochet. The chain doesn't count. And then you're going to do 2 drop down doubles. 1, 2. And then you're going to do 10 back loop onlys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you're going to do 2 drop down doubles. 1, 2. You guys go ahead and finish your row with your repeats and end with 1 single crochet. And I'll see you back for row 16. Pretty exciting, huh? He's looking like a Franken-Skull. Okay, so do your single crochet. You're going to do 2 back loop onlys. And then we're going to do 10 drop down doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we should have 2 back loop onlys, single crochets, and finish with a regular single crochet. Well, finish with a regular single crochet in the last stitch. Oh, the Franken-Skull. I think he is a cutie. Okay. You finish up, I'll see you at row 16. Row 16, we're going to insert our hook underneath the 2 loops of the first stitch. Again, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in that first stitch. That chain 1 does not count. We're going to do 2 drop down doubles. 1, 2. Then we're going to do 10 back loop onlys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 back loop onlys, and then 2 drop down doubles. There's 1, there's 2, and finish off in our very last stitch with a single crochet. Okay. Now, on row 17, I'm not sure if I like this cotton or not. I enjoyed doing it out of acrylic, and I think it looks kind of cool out of the cotton, but the cotton's splitting on me quite a bit. On row 17, we are going to begin the way we've begun every single row with a chain 1 and then a single crochet. We're going to do 4 back loop onlys. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 6 drop down doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to do 4 back loop onlys. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you guys continue on if you're doing more than one FrankenSkull on a scarf, or if you're you've got more stitches, go ahead and do your repeat all the way down, and then the very last stitch is a single crochet. How cool is that? We're going to do one more row. That's row 18. And on row 18, I'm going to do the same color as I did. It's the only time I'm not going to switch colors. I'm going to go ahead and fasten this off. But I'm going to go ahead and use my color A, which is my purple. And I'm going to use it on the last row. And it's just going to be one row all the way across of back loop onlys, except for the beginning and the ending stitch. So let's do that. We're going to chain 1, single crochet, and then we should have 14 back loop onlys all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and that leaves one stitch, for me anyway, to finish. And there you have your FrankenSkull